friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and I'm so excited that you guys are here today. Today I am working on a story that will go into my story album, and the inspiration for this whole thing was from a couple of acrylic pieces from Colorcast Designs. So the full story itself was inspired by these 5 pieces that say who, what, when, where, and why, as well as this title piece that says Bright Sunshiny Days. So I wanted to tell a story about a trip that I just went on with my mom and my sister and a few other women to travel up north and go wine tasting. So what I did is I printed out a full photo of our group. This will go outside of the page protector. It is 6.875 wide by 8.25 tall and will be hole punched on the left side. Then I'm just going to add my title on top of the photo itself, and that's pretty much going to do it for that side. Then I've got another page here that holds all of my journaling. It's got spots to put these titles on it, and then a little bit of room at the top and the bottom where I want to add some pattern paper to give it a little bit more color. Now this pattern paper is from Vicki Boutin. It's from her Let's Wander collection, and the name of this specific paper is Let's Get Lost. So it's got this stripe pattern on the back and this floral like starburst type pattern on the opposite side. So I'm actually going to use the stripe portion just because I feel like the colors go really well with the photo over here as well as with the sentiments here, whereas I felt like this side was a little too pink for this specific project. But I'm only going to be using about 2 inches of this paper, and that's it. So the rest of it I can use for another project. But what I want to do is take you guys over to the computer first and show you how I made the page for journaling, how I was able to figure out size and scale and where everything would go on the journaling page. And then we'll come back over here and go ahead and get this page all assembled. So let's head over to the computer and get started. Okay, so before we assemble this page on my craft desk, I want to show you guys how I made my journaling page just with the pre-printed journaling on it. So I knew that I wanted this page to be outside of the page protector. So the first thing that I did was I created a canvas sized at that page protector size. That's 6.875 by 8.25 at 300 pixels per inch. Once I had that done, the next thing I wanted to do was to create rectangles that would be placeholders for the who, what, when, where, why acrylic pieces. So I took my measuring or my ruler, and I measured out the sizes of those. So I know that they are 1.75 inches wide by 0.75 inches tall. So that would give me my square. Now, once I had this figured out, the next thing that I did, let's actually grab that rectangle. So I hit the enter button, and then I still have that rectangle selected over here. So then in my properties window, I can change my fill to be one of the colors. So let's say, I think the first one is red. So we'll make the fill red, and then we'll make the outline no outline. And then I can use my move tool to move this kind of out of the way. So that gives me one of them. Now I know that there are 5. So I'm going to hold, I think it's the control. Nope, it's going to be Alt. Yep, so if you hold the Alt button and then click on the item that you want to duplicate and then drag it away, it will duplicate it for you. So I created 5 of these to represent all 5 of those acrylic pieces. You can totally go in here and change their colors. Like I think the next one was orange, and then the next one after that was maybe yellow, and then the one after that was green, and then the one after that was blue, and there's all my colors. So that gives me a general idea of what it's going to look like with all the colors. So since I knew after putting these on here that I'm going to have quite a bit of space at the top and the bottom, what I decided to do was to just give myself about an inch of space. Actually, maybe I made it more like 1.25 inches. I may have made it more like 1.25 inches, which would have been 7 inches for you. It could have been just 1 inch too. Actually, I think it was. So I think I gave myself 1 inch at the top. Come on. Close enough. 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. So let's put this up to 1 inch. There we go. And then these were going to go in the middle. So this I'm just going to put some pattern paper to give it a little bit more interest and just some more color on this page. Then I went ahead and spaced these apart, as far as I wanted them to go, using Photoshop as a guide to let me know when they're all relatively the same distance. Then I took all 5 of these and I just made sure that they were in the middle. And then once that was done, I could add my text boxes. So I just grabbed my text tool and made a box that was the full height, but not all the way to the edge because I'm going to hole punch the edge. So I made a block there, and then again, I just, there we go. I just took that, copied it, and pasted it so that I could make this for each of these blocks. Then I could add in my journaling for those spots. And then once the journaling was all in and done, there we go. So once I had all the right journaling that I wanted in there, then I could just hide those boxes, merge the rest of this page, and print it out just like this. And that will give me the journaling for the left side of the page. So now that I showed you that, let's go ahead back over to the craft table and we'll get this page assembled. Okay, so now that you guys know how I created this journaling page, let's just go ahead and get everything trimmed out that we are going to need. So I'm going to grab my trimmer here. Now this page is not going to take me very long to make, so I think I will just chat with you guys through it. This is 8.25 instead of speeding you up just because I can. Since I know it's not gonna take forever to make this page. All right, so we're going to get this trimmed out first. There's our journaling page, and then we'll also trim out this photo as well. Okay, so every year, my mom goes with a group of her girlfriends on a wine tour up north Michigan in Traverse City. And every year when they've gone, I've always had a reason I couldn't go. So sometimes I was pregnant. Sometimes I had, one year I had just had Jonah and I was nursing and it just didn't work for me to go. And then I think some of the years prior to that, maybe the daughters didn't go. But this year was finally a year I could go. And with all of the health stuff with COVID and everything, we weren't even sure if it was still going to be able to happen. But the state reopened not too long ago, and they still have lots of social distancing measures and health protocols and whatnot, which is good. I mean, that made me feel better about going. So it was very different compared to their other years, but we were still able to make it out and go on the trip and have a really nice time. It was basically the first time I've really been out of my house other than to just go visit our family at their homes. I don't even go to the grocery store. My husband does that. So it was so strange to get outside. Like, so strange. Okay, so I trimmed off 1-inch pieces of that stripe paper, and actually I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down first. I am using a roller adhesive. It's the Permanent Dots roller adhesive from Tambomano. I like it because it doesn't get gummed up when you're rolling. I've had some other brands that I've tried using because they're less expensive, but they always gum up on me. I think like maybe the mechanism breaks or something. I don't really know. Okay, and then we will trim this off. Okay, so there is one. Yeah, I thought that this pattern is really nice. I should have, well, okay. And let's get the other piece. So do I want the, it's probably, where did this normally go? Did it normally go here? Doesn't seem right. I did trim them from the exact same, huh, crazy. Well, let's put it, oh, you know what, you go, no. Just trying to see if these line up or, oh, you know what, because it went like this, that's why. Shoot, you know what, I'm gonna do that. Just because I think it would look nice to have it go both sides. Okay. And that is why I use the permanent dot ruler, because it does actually stick down permanently, but you do have a little bit of time to move things if you want to. So there we go. Let's put this at the bottom. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now, I wanted these to be kind of like in the same line as each other. So yeah, that is what I'm doing here. Although, I mean, does it even matter? Whatever, we'll do it. So let's get this on here. We'll add you back on the top. And that will be that. Okay. Trim you back off. Okay, so that gives me some pattern on there. And I can get rid of this stuff, put you away. So then, the only thing I have left to do is add my acrylic pieces. Actually, let's hole punch these first. So we're gonna hole punch and then add the acrylic pieces. Now I just have this template that I made myself. So I can make sure I've got the sides right. I made a template for myself because I use this 6 hole punch, but I take the bottom off and just line up the holes where they go, and it lets me know exactly where to hole punch it. I used to use a page protector to align it, but I found that it was really hard to pull the page protector out. So I always slipped and caused mistakes. So I just made myself a template and that's what I use. Okay, so now we're all hole punched. Now, last but not least, we're going to add on the acrylic pieces. So the left side gets all of these. These are like my favorite. Like these are so, so fun. All right, so we've got who, what, where, when, and why. So let's add some adhesive and get these stuck down. So I'm just going to use the same roller adhesive on these in order to get these stuck down onto the page. I will use my tweezers just to help me get them into the right spot and keep everything kind of straight. That looks pretty good. All right, so who, what. I always love when Jessica releases her rainbow colored acrylics. I just love all the colors that she gets with her pieces. They're so fun. Okay, so there's what. And doing stories like this, so this will go into a story album that I have, where, you know, some things are in pockets, some things are out of pockets. It's not really, there's no true rhyme or reason to it. But it doesn't matter if there's a lot of dimension. So some of my things are really dimensional. Some things are interactive. Like they're really just albums to tell a bunch of stories, but also to have some creative fun. Okay, who, what, when. Okay. Who, what, where, when, and why. Okay. Then we just need to put the title piece on the photo, and that's it. So this was a really easy spread, but it's super fun because of all these like big pieces. Okay, so there's that side. And then for this side, I wanted to use this Bright Sunshiny Days over here. And that leaves me with one more piece for another story at another time. So, yeah, since there are so many of these pieces on here, I'm really not going to embellish it with anything else. I feel like it doesn't really need it, especially with the paper, and it just, yeah. Okay, so let's grab those tweezers again. It just helps me to keep my balance and place it where I want it to go. That looks good, like that. And there we go. There we go. That finishes this up. That was so easy. You know what? Nope, I have the dates. I have the dates on here, so we're all good. I always forget to put my dates on my projects. I always forget, and then I have to do it later. But anyway, that's besides the point. So that completes this spread for today. So easy, really fun and graphic and colorful, and I just love it. So, yeah, that is using acrylic pieces as a story spark, and then just finding bits and pieces from your stash to go with it. So hopefully that gave you guys some inspiration for maybe telling a story using the 5 W's in your story albums, or even in your project life. That would work too. And yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see all of my future crafty videos. And until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.